Good morning. This is about idiots and understanding. You know, sometimes when you talk to a person, he will say, yeah, I totally understand, and he doesn't. You find out later that he didn't understand anything about what you said. So you have to ask people. When they say they understand, you will say, so what did you understand exactly? I think we need to be more thorough when we talk to people. I mean, you have been talking to a lot of people over the years, and you thought they understood. They didn't. Here's a guy. He claims that he understands something. His name is Pierre Polievre. He's the Canadian opposition leader. I like this guy. I think he's a good guy. I'm not sure, but I think so. And he said, when he was talking to a crowd recently, he said, I will ban all my ministers from any involvement in the World Economic Forum. And there was a big cheer in the crowd. So I think he understands something about the World Economic Forum, but I think it's a good idea to check it. Ask him. So what is it that you understand about the World Economic Forum, Pierre? You see what I mean? Maybe he's just saying it. Because now a lot of people understand what the World Economic Forum is. And he thinks it's a good thing to say. It's possible, right? So I think you should check it. You Canadians, ask him. Here's a guy who definitely doesn't understand. His name is Joe Biden. You know, he's very interested in little girls. And people talk to him, I'm sure about this. They talked to him and said, Joe, you can't do this. You can't touch these little girls. You can't sniff their hair. It doesn't look good. You have to stop it. And I believe he said, yes, of course. I understand, he said. It doesn't look good. I will stop it. I'm sure he said this. But he didn't. He did it again. So he was speaking to a crowd, and his attention went to this little girl in the crowd. And he asks her, he said, hello, baby, he said. Hello, baby, he said to a little girl in the crowd. Who can say such a thing? Hello, baby. How old are you? That's what he said, this clown, Joe Biden. And then he asked again, how old are you? And then he got an answer, and he said, oh, almost double figures. So she was probably 9 years old. It's terrible. He's the President of the United States. Remember this. No, he didn't get it. Of course not. Now here's something that I think is very important to understand. So this is about children dying in Europe. It's about excess death among children in Europe. And I made this statistic. Right. So this is from Euromomo. They collect information about people dying in Europe, and they are approved. They are working with the WHO, and they get their information from the countries in Europe. 29 of them, and then they make reports and statistics. So you can get this. I will post a link to their website where this statistic is, all right? So this is excess death among children in Europe. I think I need to explain this graph. All right. So the vertical line is the average. The gray line is 2020, and the red line is 2021. So you can see the gray line going below the average during 2020, more or less all the time. And then the red line starts off below the average in 2021, and then there is a sudden increase. And then it goes up to this very high level. It's a very high level. It's 691% above the average, this area here. And it starts there, right there, where there's this black arrow. Don't you think this is nice? Yeah, I made this one. All right, so what happened there? Just before this big increase, what happened there? Well, there was an approval from the EMA, that's right, this European Medicines Agency. They approved giving the tea to 12-year-olds. That's what happened right there in May 2021. And then there's a second date over here. This is in November. That's when they approved giving the tea to 5-year-olds. I think this is very clear, isn't it? Yeah, so what did you understand about this? I also want to tell you a story. It's about a little boy who died. His name is Alexander. He was 2 months old, and 3.5 days after getting the tea, his heart and breathing stopped, which caused the brain damage, and there was nothing they could do, and he died. Stupid, stupid parents. I'm sure some people talked to these parents over time, and they didn't get it. Stupid. It's incredible how stupid these parents are. Right, so they got very upset, the parents, which is understandable. And they talked to the doctor, and the doctor denied that this had anything to do with the tea. And they didn't like it, the parents, so they went sort of outside. They got an independent autopsy done, and they got some witnesses together, and they won. Their case was proven true, and they were awarded $250,000 US. These stupid parents. Well, first of all, the compensation is ridiculous. There's no compensation for this. You are going through hell, basically. I can just imagine this happening to me. I would totally lose it. You would find me in jail very, very quickly. I would go total berserk, physical. I would punish people physically if this happened to me. There's no compensation. I'm very glad about I have 2 children, 2 sons. None of them are drinking the tea. And I have 2 grandchildren, and they will not have it. I'm very happy about this. It's also personal, because I would end up in jail if something happened to them. I know it. I don't like to spend time in jail. I've never been in jail, but I wouldn't like it, I'm sure. Yeah, I would be totally ruthless with these people who are responsible for this. So there's no compensation for these stupid parents. I don't know how they feel about it. $250,000 US. It's pathetic. So that's the story. Now, if you tell this story to anyone, I think it's a good idea to ask them. If they say, okay, I got it, you should ask them. So what did you get, really? What did you understand about this? People live in some sort of hypnotic state in general. They don't get it. They just say they do, and they don't. All right. Be good.